Chrissy, I want to take a few minutes to talk about the step up basis because I've had a couple of clients this past week. They were getting confused, getting tripped up over this. So I wanted to clarify it for our listeners. We're talking about the step up basis. It is a good provision left over in the Internal Revenue Code. It is still there. It's been there for the longest time, and I'm not hearing Congress talking about it being repealed. So
Correct.
it's still in place. I think it will hopefully always be in place. But it says this. It says that when you inherit your mom's property, your home, for example, when you inherit her home, your basis for capital gains tax purposes is the value at the date of mom's death. So if mom passes away and at that moment in time her home is worth $500,000 and you turn around and sell it for $500,000, you're going to pay absolutely no capital gains taxes. If you hold on to it for a year and sell it for $525,000, you're going to pay capital gains on your $25,000 profit. So you can just see the step-up basis is a good thing. It's available for any kind of asset. Could be your mom's homestead, could be their rental property, could be their commercial property, could be their stock in Tesla, could be the painting hanging on the living room wall. The key is that your basis in that asset is the value at the date of mom's death. Pretty clear, right?
Very clear.
All right. So here's where they're getting tripped up. I was talking about doing a trust for the client and doing a trust for the purpose of avoiding probate. People want to avoid probate because it's expensive and takes a long time. So we talk about a trust for the longest time. And then the last week, 2 different clients go, okay, so I need to have a trust to get the step-up basis. No. The trust is for the purpose of avoiding probate. You're going to get the step-up basis whether you use a trust, whether you inherit it through a will, whether you use a ladybird deed, whether it goes through probate. All those situations will still get you the step-up basis. The trust that we're doing is for the purpose of avoiding probate, also a good thing, but does not require that you have a trust to get the step-up basis.
Yes. Great. Perfectly said. And oftentimes we find that you have to tell clients multiple times, and or you're right that we're having more and more people ask the same thing and thinking they're getting confused about it. We know that there's always a lot of information out there, including even recently, where now, even in the state of Florida, they are changing things effective October 1st. And once again, people then put that in their head that that also has something to do with the step-up basis.
Yes.
So there's different aspects of, again, step-up basis is different than your death tax in the state where you live, is different than the national death tax, is different than property tax. These are all different, is different than probate.
So the step-up basis is federal tax law. It applies to everybody across the board. And here's, just so people are, when they're listening, they understand what I'm saying. I'm saying step as in you're walking, taking a step. Up as in up. Step up basis, to make it very clear for people. And if you want more, you can Google it. Here's why that becomes really important sometimes. Sometimes we do estate planning for a person and they own multiple pieces of property. Over their lifetime, they have bought multiple pieces of property. Good for them. They bought them way back in the day when you could buy a piece of property reasonably priced. You and I remember that. Too bad for the young kids these days, but way back in the day, you could buy a piece of property for a reasonable price. Now,
Correct.
If the parents were to sell that property during the parents' lifetime, they might have a big, significant, even huge capital gains tax if they sell it during their lifetime. We tell the client, look, if you can manage it, if you don't need the cash from the sale of these properties, your best bet would be to keep them, hold on to them, let your children inherit them upon your death, through probate, through a ladybird deed, through a trust, let them inherit them, and all of a sudden their basis is stepped up to the value at the date of your death. They could turn around and sell all your real estate and pay absolutely no capital gains taxes.
Correct. So what happens, to add to your point, Tom, about where we see the people make a mistake, in particular on real estate.
Yeah.
Why? Because they will think that they're doing the right thing to avoid probate and add their children's names to the deed during their lifetime.
Yeah. So the one qualifier to getting the step-up basis, folks, let me make this very clear, is that your kids cannot inherit this until upon your death. If you add their names to the deeds, which we tell people don't do it.
For many reasons.
For many reasons.
But especially this.
If you add their names to the deed, they didn't inherit upon your death. You gave it to them during your lifetime. And guess what? Now they've inherited your basis. And guess what? Now someday when they sell it, they might pay a lot more capital gains taxes.
Exactly. So as you were giving the example of, which was a great example about the $500,000, if property was worth $500,000 at the date of mom's death, and again, if you turn around and sell it right away, you pay zero capital gains. However, if mom bought that property for $100,000 back in the good old day, and mom added your name even right before she passed away, because they were thinking, oh, we're going to avoid probate, now you sell it, it's worth $500,000, and you're going to pay $400,000 in capital gains.
This is good stuff, Chrissy, and I'm sure people will appreciate it because it applies to most people. Most people someday they're going to inherit mom and dad's house.
Correct.
And this is applies to most people out there.
It's
now,
exactly right.
When we are doing estates, people often ask us, Tom, when my mom passes away, do I have to get an appraisal done? Well, maybe yes, maybe no. If you intend to sell mom's house within a few months, you don't have to get an appraisal done because we can assume that what you sold it for is what it was worth at the date of mom's death.
Exactly.
If you said, no, Tom, I'm going to hold on to that home for many years, I'm going to rent it out, use it as an investment income for myself, then yeah, you need to get an appraisal because someday when you do sell this piece of property, you will have to prove to the IRS what it was worth on the date of mom's death.
Exactly. Correct.
I think we made it perfectly clear for people.
Well, I hope I hope that at least that they got a good overview, and then certainly if they have additional questions, then they can give us a call.
They can